Hello everybody, Jason F. Smith here. I want to talk to you about something that's going on in the news right now. There's a young gentleman named Nick Sandmann who faced off with someone on the Capitol, and there's a lot of discussion going on about the facial features of what he meant. Was he smiling? Was he smirking? All this kind of stuff. And so this brings up something really interesting. In Shades of Intimacy, we work on how you present yourself to your partner bodily. So how your body speaks a language to your partner in intimacy. And let me guarantee you something. How you speak, how you breathe, how you look, the face, everything speaks volumes. Now this goes back to us being mammals. So there's the fish brain, the amoeba brain, then there's the lizard brain, the reptile brain, and then there's the mammal brain. And one of the big things about the mammal brain that we all have is that we are able to recognize facial features. And so that's one of the big ways that mammals, including humans, communicate. And so this is not a surprise in the news that the look on the face has meaning. But if you don't know that, then you might be saying something different to people that they aren't aware of, right? Your look of I love you could be, hey, you're threatening me. So let me show you an example of that. A number of years ago, we went down to a campground in southern Utah. Took the whole family, and there was other people camping there. We pulled into the place and we unhitched the trailer, and then my son Riley, who was about 19 at the time, decided to drive the car around the driveway and come back around to another side to park. You drop the trailer one place, you park somewhere else. Now, Riley had come to my events called the Modern Day Warrior and Shades of Intimacy, where he learned where his posture and his breath meant something. Now, he was also working for a very large firm in Park City, Utah, and so his demeanor in sales, and so his demeanor and his presence meant something too. In other words, sorry about that, my phone just rang in the middle of this video. And so he learned about posture. He would stand up straight. He would look a person in the eye. He would shake hands directly. These kind of energetic, deep breath posture things. So he's driving along his car, and there's a gentleman, mid-30s, wearing just a t-shirt, and he's comes up behind him, and he's walking along the road. And so Riley just slows down, and the guy, feels the car behind him, and for whatever reason, he turns around. And Riley looks through the windshield, and he looks at him, and he just straightens up, takes a deep breath, and he looks him straight in the eye. Just to be a man to man, contact, hello, I'm a man, you're a man. Very nice. The man happens to be a veteran from Iraq, and this triggers something in his head. He thinks that someone coming up to him and looking him directly in the eye is threatening. So the guy loses it, completely loses it. Now let me add another piece to the story. My son is obviously white. This gentleman was black. So he attacks the car, starts hitting the hood, coming around and verbally assaulting my son for being a threatening, racist white man. Riley, of course, is just sitting in the car. He's 19 years old. This very big former Marine is attacking him verbally and threateningly on the car, calling him a racist. So he just sits there and just holds still. Other members of the camp and family come running over. That's me. And we're like, hey, back off from my son. And he starts to assault me. You're a piece of crap. You raised a racist kid. You're a racist. I'm going to beat you all up. I'm going to murder you in your sleep. And it is escalating. It's gone off the charts. You cannot believe how bad this situation really is. And I'm like, screw you. I'll take you down. You don't mess with my son. And I have other people there. And it is bad. My wife gets in the middle. Our friend Crystal gets in the middle. It is crazy. It is bad. We're all from a look. Now, more and more people came, held us apart, talked it down. The guy was truly triggered, into a PTSD state. And it took him a long time to calm down. We calmed down. And in the end, we were able to come back together, talk, we shook hands. My son Riley went up and apologized to him. Now Riley didn't want to apologize because he was like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. but it was the right thing to do, and the guy relaxed and he felt respect. And you know what happened? Later on that night, that very same man shared a meal with me. We cooked him a meal and his wife, and they came into our trailer, and he told us stories of his life, of his childhood, of his time in Iraq, and we actually got to be really good friends. But oh my, it did not start out well. It did not. It was bad. There was, violence. I mean, it was really close. Like, it was really close that really fists were gonna fly and someone was gonna get hurt. This was a trained Marine. I mean, he was real. I was outmatched in that regard. I've been trained in martial arts and weightlifting, but this guy was, and he had some kind of adrenaline dump going on him. I mean, he was really close to hurting someone. Someone would have got hurt, And so my reason for telling you all this is because it's really, really fascinating with this Nick Sandmann, where he was trying to stand, and in his view, he was trying to be respectful of an elder who was beating a drum in his face, and yet so many people have interpreted his look as something different. And even though he says something different and says, hey, I'm not that way, I was being respectful, I was standing my ground, I was opening my heart, he's been accused of being a liar. And I saw that happen to my son. My son was accused of being a racist, of trying to threaten someone, of running a man down on a road, which, I mean, I watched him. He was going like 3 miles an hour. So there was none of that happening. And later on, the guy did apologize and talked about why things happened. So all of this really does happen. And so the two things to really take from this, what I want you to understand, is that when you're standing in certain postures, you are communicating something to others. You are communicating something. One of the fascinating ones, what we do in Shades of Intimacy, is that when a man slumps and sits or picks or looks at his phone, like he's not present and he's not just right there with his woman. And his woman can feel that. The other thing to take is that everyone doesn't read the exact same facial features the same way. So Riley's practice and experience as a man, as a young man, working with very, very high level successful humans with deep presence, was very successful. People were very much attracted to him and thought, wow, what a powerful young man. He's very respectful. He's very present, was the word. It's a very masculine trait of presence. They like that. But suddenly that masculine trait triggered something negative in someone. So you have to navigate all of this very carefully. And that's what we learn to do at Shades of Intimacy, Modern Day Warrior, and the Elemental Feminine. Won't you come join us? We have an event coming up, Shades of Intimacy, this February 15th, 16th, and 17th. Application is in the link below.